All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the final part of the show, we're going to now get into talking about the rest of the games for this weekend, including college football, week 6, and just the remaining matchups that I haven't gotten to in the NFL. So we'll start off in college. So got some matchups tonight. So the ones to kind of focus on, I guess, is 3-1 Syracuse and then 4-0 UNLV. UNLV is 6.5-point favorites. That's on FS1 at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And then you also got Oregon against Michigan State, number 6 ranked Oregon, I might add. 4-0, 24-point favorites against Michigan State, who's 3-2 on the season. You also got TCU and Houston, and you also have New Hampshire against Harvard, and Jacksonville State and Kennesaw State, who's 0-4 on the year. So, I mean, really the matchups, I guess most people are probably going to watch is, the Syracuse, UNLV, and then Michigan State, Oregon. And then for the Saturday slate of games, SMU, who's 4-1 on the season, they're 6.5-point underdogs against number 22 ranked Louisville, who's 3-1 on the year. UNC and Pittsburgh, or in Pitt, rather just say that. Pitt is 4-0 on the season. UNC is 3-2, 2.5-point favorites. You got Penn State and UCLA. Penn State's 27.5-point favorites. Trying to see. Well, you got Auburn and Georgia. I mean, Auburn's 2-3. Georgia's 3-1. Of course, suffering their first loss last week to Alabama. Can Ole Miss get back on track? They're taking on South Carolina, who's 3-1 on the season. Ohio State's taking on Iowa. That's at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Iowa's 3-1. West Virginia and Oklahoma State. Alabama's taking on Vanderbilt. Clemson and FSU. There's going to be no DJ in that game. FSU's actually 1-4 now, so they finally got off the. Well, that was from a couple weeks ago. They beat Cal, but yeah, they lost to SMU. And then you got Boise State. They're taking on Utah State. Tennessee and Arkansas, that could be a good game. Tennessee's 4-0, Arkansas 3-2. USC is taking on Minnesota. Michigan and Washington. That's at 7:30. That could be a good game to keep an eye on. Miami taking on Cal at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Miami, of course, their game last week against Virginia Tech, that was unbelievable. How that finished off, but yeah, I mean, I don't think there's really any game that I look at and I'm like, oh, this is a must watch. But there's some good games on the slate. I mean, I guess Louisville, SMU. That's a game to pay attention to. Boston College is 4-1. They're taking on Virginia, who's 3-1 as well. I think the one game that I'd be interested. I mean, the Michigan-Washington game I'm kind of interested in. Now, I'm not going to be able to. Well, some of the games during the day I'll be able to watch, but I will be in attendance for the ALDS Game 1 between the Yankees and the Royals. I will be there. And also, if you're a baseball fan, how about that game last night with the Mets pulling off that comeback win in the 9th inning? But, yeah, so I'll be there. I'm not really going to be watching this full slate. So then we'll get to the let's get to the NFL then. So the rest of the games on the slate. So we talked about the Jets and the Vikings. We got the Panthers and the Bears. Bears coming off of a win. Panthers coming off of a loss. Bears right now are 4-point favorites. This one's kind of tough to pick. Now, the Bears were able to run the football better in the game against the Rams. The Panthers, their offense has looked better with Andy Dalton as the starting quarterback. So, yeah, this one's I'm going back and forth with who I should pick. I think the Bears will win, but right now I got the Panthers with the points. Again, because Andy Dalton has looked, the Panthers offense has looked functional with Andy Dalton as the quarterback. And the Bears have a good defense, but maybe the Panthers could keep it close, maybe, to cover the number. But I got the Bears winning. This game I keep going back and forth with as well. Ravens-Bengals. Ravens are the better team right now. But I may lean towards the Bengals because, well, for one thing, they haven't won a home game. They lost both their home games to start off the year. This is a divisional game. And, the Bengals, I don't think they want, well, I don't think. I know they don't want to drop to 1-4 on the year. So this one's tough. I mean, the Ravens right now are the better team. They are coming off of that big win over the Bills. So maybe this game is kind of, one that brings them back down to earth a little bit. And the Bengals maybe pull off the win. The Ravens did sweep the season series last year. So, I mean, yeah, I don't really know. I right now I got the Bengals, but I mean I think it's gonna be a close game, but I don't feel great about taking the Bengals, but we'll see. We already talked about the Bills and the Texans, the Colts and the Jaguars. So the Jags are at home for this game. Might be no Jonathan Taylor in this game, but Anthony Richardson I think will play. It seems. I could be wrong though, but the Jags got to win at some point, right? They have to win. So, I actually will take the Jags in this game, although I do not feel great about it. Although the Jags, they did show you, a little bit of a pulse against the Texans. Although the Texans kind of gifted them some points early on with the muffed punt. But still, the Jags could have won that game. This is a game they got to win, get themselves back on the right track, at least get them in the win column. So I actually will take the Jags in this game. Dolphins and the Patriots. Yeah, not really that intriguing of a matchup here. Dolphins, yeah, they are just reeling right now without Tua. I know Tua was not great before he got hurt. I keep saying that, but I mean, they definitely would be playing better with him at quarterback. And look, I said Tyler Huntley is the best option of what they have, and I still believe that. So they got to play more to his style. I think that's something that was a topic of conversation after the game against the Titans. But the Patriots at home, good defense. I actually am going to take the Patriots in this game, although again, don't feel great about it. Then we got the Browns and the Commanders. The Commanders are one of the hottest teams in the NFL. The Browns are reeling. I mean, they could have won that game against the Raiders. They had some missed opportunities. I might take the Browns with the points, actually. Because you know what? They are coming off of 2 straight losses to the Giants and to the Raiders. I mean, they got to get back in the win column, too. Now, I don't know if they are going to win this game, but maybe they could at least cover the number. So I took them with the points. Because a lot of the picks I made originally, I was taking a lot of the favorites. I'm like, I can't do that. But you know what's going to happen, though? The ones that I switched to take the underdogs, those ones I'm going to end up losing, and the ones that I have the favorites in, I'll end up losing. That's just how it's going to go. So don't be surprised if I end up with like 4 wins at the end of the week. So I actually will take the Browns with the points, although, again, don't feel great about it. But, the Browns have a good defense, so maybe they keep it close. We'll see. Then we got the Raiders and the Broncos. Broncos defense, that's a defense that's been playing well. I talked about it a little bit before. Raiders, they're coming off of that win against the Browns and could be getting Max. I think Max Crosby's going to be back this week, I would imagine, right? Devontae Adams is going to be out still with that hamstring injury. Look, I like where the Broncos are at right now defensively, and I think they win this game. So I'll take them, and they cover the points. And then a few games left here. Cardinals and the 49ers. Cardinals are 7.5-point underdogs. The 49ers, they got back in the win column, but you know what? I actually think the Cardinals will cover the number. The Cardinals put up points against the 49ers. However, the 49ers are going to put up points against the Cardinals defense. So this game could be a shootout, but I actually will take the Cardinals here. They're coming off as 2 straight losses. I expect them to play better in this game, so at least to cover the number. But I got the 49ers winning. Christy Lewis in the chat says Dolphins if they are playing in Miami. Oh, yeah, if you're talking about the game, yeah. But because the Patriots are at home, yeah, I lean towards the Patriots. That's going to be a good game, Browns-Commanders. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, because, you know what? Like, the Commanders, they've been blowing teams out, but, they got to come back. Another team that's got to come back down to earth. I still think that they'll probably win the game, but don't be surprised if this game's close. The Browns have a good defense, and they're a desperate team. They need to win. So this game's got to be this game. I would imagine is going to be somewhat competitive, right? But if the Commanders blow them out, that won't surprise me. So then a couple games left: Packers and the Rams. Packers coming in at 2-2. Rams 1-3. Both teams losing. Rams losing against the Bears. Packers losing against the Vikings. Look, Jordan Love had a rough game, a rough first half. The turnovers were bad, and the field goal kicking was bad as well. So you could correct those two things. I think the Packers are the better team here. The Rams, they're shorthanded right now. They're waiting on their guys to come back. So I like the Packers to win and cover, but again, nothing would surprise me. But Packer fans are going to take over that stadium. You know that. And then finally, because we already previewed the Sunday night game, Giants-Seahawks. Giants might be without Devin Singletary and Malik Nabers, so I don't know how they're going to generate any kind of offense. I mean, Wan'Dale Robinson will get more involved, but and he had a good game against Dallas. But yeah, if you're down Malik Nabers and you're a team that struggles to put up points already, and you're going to be down Devin Singletary because he hasn't practiced, I mean, and you're in Seattle, got to take the Seahawks. Seahawks are 6.5-point favorites. Geno Smith's playing well. Yeah, I got to take the Seahawks here. Got to take the Seahawks here. So the Giants, if they lose this game, they're going to end up falling to 1-4 on the year, which is not good. So to kind of run through all the NFL games here, so right now I got the Vikings, the Panthers, the Bengals, Bills, Jaguars, Patriots, Browns, Broncos, Cardinals, Packers, Giants, Steelers. And then, of course, we'll preview the Monday game on Monday. So let me know what you guys think, though, about that. Anything. And actually, my friend just texted in our chat that Malik Nabers is indeed out. So, yeah, definitely taking the Seahawks in the game. No questions asked. But, again, nothing would surprise me. I mean, the Giants did beat – I know it was with no fans, but they did beat the Seahawks in Seattle with Colt McCoy at quarterback. So, anything is possible, as Kevin Garnett once said. So, yeah, that is it for the show for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to check out all the other shows as well. Give the other shows some love. Make sure to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. So, yeah. With that being said, I'm Kenneth Gruenfelder signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day. Enjoy the games this weekend, and I will talk to you guys on Monday. Take care.